Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. So, September ink, my ink comparison for the month. The two inks I'm going to take a look at, again, both Diamine inks, and this time they're both in, I want to call it like a dusty or dirty red type colour. The first one, Diamine Red Dragon. Really nice ink, I like this ink. That's going up against another ink I like, Diamine Spiced Apple. Now, why I've chosen these is the base colour seems to be very similar, so I thought it'd be interesting to compare the two. So join me now, down on the mat. We'll take a look at the ink swatches, some chromatography, do a writing sample, then I'll give you my thoughts on these two inks. Welcome down to the table. So here we've got today's inks, both by Diamine. We've got Diamine Red Dragon, this is in the 30ml bottle. And then going up against it, we've got Diamine Spiced Apple. This is in that sample bottle that came as part of the ink vent. This is 12ml. And on the side here, it tells us it's a chameleon ink. The Red Dragon, that's a standard ink. Let's move these out of the way because looking at bottles doesn't really tell us too much, does it? So we'll start by looking at the swatch cards. So I've got Diamine Red Dragon, and I've got Diamine Spiced Apple. Both have got very similar base colours, so it's this gorgeous, like dark crimsony red colour. There we are with the Red Dragon. There's absolutely nothing there, as I say, it's a standard ink. But with the Spiced Apple, we can see there, look at all that shimmer there that's coming through. So it's got the same base colour, but with this gorgeous, I'm going to call it like a goldy brown colour with that shimmer there, that chameleon. Very pretty, very attractive. And even there on the right, and you can see coming through where I was writing Diamine Spiced Apple, we've got loads of that gold coming through. Whereas up here on the Red Dragon, again, it's just fairly flat. Let's turn over and look at chromatography. Quite a difference in the chromatographies. So we've got the same very little tiny line at the bottom here. But then we start going different. So we've got darkness coming through with the Spiced Apple, whereas in the Red Dragon, we're just going through various darker shades of pink until we get near the top. Then on both of them, we've got an area where there's like maybe is it a yellow or even maybe a pale orange? A bit more yellowy here with the Spiced Apple. Then the Spiced Apple would go to this nice bright, vibrant pink colour. But with the Red Dragon, here we've got to the darker line, that darker crimson, which seems to be most of the colour that's in the actual ink. Quite nice to look at though. I do enjoy looking at chromatography. I don't know how much it actually tells you, but I think it's quite interesting. We'll fetch in the notepad of testing. So this is Oxford Optic paper, 90 GSM paper. The pen I'm going to use today, this is a Serendipity dip pen. There we can see that it's got a broad Yoho nib on it. What I'll do after I've done the Red Dragon, I'll actually go away. I'm going to give this a good clean out and dry it so I can get it as close to as possible that we're using the same nib and that there's not a lot of water there left in the section or anything. So we're going to start with Red Dragon. Standard ink, so no shimmer, anything like that. Take the cap off, pop it over to one side. So I'm going to be going through the same process I do for all my ink samples. So I dip the pen in a few times, hopefully give that nib a really good drink. I tap it off gently, then I scribble a little bit on some scrap paper to take off any excess ink. Then we'll come over here. I'm going to Diamine Red Dragon. The 30ml bottle costs $4.60. This is buying it from Cult Pens in the UK. So that works out to be 15 cents per milliliter. So not too bad, is it? We've got a Serendipity dip pen. Then I'll write a sentence. Very nice. Put that into water to start soaking. So with the red dragon, yeah, that's quite nice. I mean, it's still wet, so it's shining a bit. We'll look at it more when it's dry. But really nice. I like this colour. Although it's called Red Dragon, what it reminds me of is something like a Red Delicious apple or a Bravo apple. The colour of the skin on that. Very nice, really attractive. I actually quite like it. It's one of my favourite reds. I'm going to step away now and give that pen a good clean out. So the pen's had a good clean. Now it's time to look at the spiced apple. So here we are, spiced apple. As said, this is a chameleon ink. You can see there that orangey colour that is coming through this bottle. So I need to give this a really good agitation. I'm good at agitating things, or at least that's what the wife says. She says I'm good at agitating her. Apparently all I need to do is breathe and she starts getting agitated. So let's give that a good shake. And very quickly, to make sure I capture it with as much in suspension as possible, I'll take the cap off and dip the nib in. So the nib's going into the ink now. Give it a good drink. Same process, I'll scribble off, take off any excess. Then we'll start writing. So we've got here Diamine, spiced apple. So to my eye at the moment, the colours look very similar, the base colours, although I do see more shading coming through with this spiced apple. Now to buy this, it is $25. That's for a 50ml bottle. Again, this is from Cult Pens in the UK. That works out at 50 cents per milliliter. It's quite a lot more. It's got the Serendipity dip pen, and then my sentence. And I'm just going to do this because I want to make sure we get the chance to see as much of that chameleon as we can. So I'm going to put down a nice block of ink here. There we go. So hopefully some chameleon should come through there. Now I'm going to move this over to one side, give that chance to dry. Hopefully that chameleon should start to develop. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Whilst it's over there, what we'll do is we'll take a look at this. This is my Galen leather notebook. This is 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. So what I've done is I've tested these inks both in the same pen, the Ranga Santa. This has got a 1.1 stub nib in it. Very nice pen. There's a stub nib. Love the nib on this. It writes really well. As we can see here, we start with the Red Dragon. It's a nice dark red. You know, the ink shows well. You know, obviously with a pen, we've got this gorgeous line variation. Don't see much in the way of shading though. It seems a fairly flat colour. You know, the same colour throughout. I still like it. I say it's one of my favourite red colours. Then we're going to jump back a little bit. And here is the Ranka Santa, or the Santo as I called it there, with spiced apple. Here I am seeing, you know, some nice shading coming through, as well as seeing that gold. So hopefully if I can capture this, hopefully it'll come over on the camera. We've got loads of that gold chameleon coming through. Now I'm going to go like this, so we can see them side by side. And we can see now the base colour, we can see looks very much different. Darker colour here with the Red Dragon. Whereas we've got a more bright colour here with the spiced apple. Again, the spiced apple reminded me a little bit of that Red Delicious, the Bravo. But I still think, certainly with the Bravo apples, I should have brought one in. I've got some in the other room. That seems to be closer in terms of colour to the Red Dragon than what I see with the Spiced Apple. I do like the other Chameleon in the Spiced Apple. That does, it adds that extra layer, that extra bit of colour in. So we've got, that shading coming through and this gorgeous pop of that gold or brown as it comes through. Really nice. We move this out of the way and we'll fetch back that Oxford Optic paper. Hopefully it's had time to dry. So even on here, we're seeing slight differences. Look here, we've got that gorgeous S there with the shading. We've got loads of shading coming through. If I can catch the light right, I can see the Chameleon coming through to my eye. I'm not sure if it's coming through on the camera there. But certainly, like where I was scribbling here, it's absolutely covered in that gold Chameleon colour. And, this Diamine Spiced Apple, the way I'm holding it now to my eye, all I can see is gold, not red. But as I orientate it, as I move it around, and I'm hoping that's coming through. I say it's quite difficult because my camera preview is fairly small, so I can't 100% see exactly what is coming through on the camera. I usually get here a nice little surprise when I'm editing it. My thoughts on these two is I love the colours. I love this Red Dragon. And I think 15 cents a milliliter, that's really good value. The Spiced Apple, it's nice. Yes, we've got more shading. We've got more interest. We've got that gold in there. But is it worth 50 cents a milliliter? That's like 3 times the price. I don't think I would, as much as I love the colour, I don't think I could justify spending $25 on a bottle of this. But saying that, it's not actually that expensive. If I look at Robert Oster bottles, here's an example of a Robert Oster bottle. And these, again, if I can find it, are 50 millilitres. They're also about 25 Aussie dollars. So when you look at it that way, it's actually not bad value for the Spiced Apple either. It just seems a lot when you're seeing $25 and you're comparing it to $4.60. Both nice inks, both inks I love. Both inks I'm happy to use. The Serendipity pen works all right with this, but when I've got in a normal pen, the problem is with the Chameleon. I haven't really had a problem with this, but it's got the potential. It could block the feed. So again, something to be aware of. But certainly, both inks I would quite happily buy again. As I say, I'd hum and haw about this one a bit because I'd be looking at $25 as opposed to $4.60. I know I keep stressing it, but it's a big difference. I still think it's worth it because it's an attractive ink. But so is that Diamine Red Dragon. So they're my thoughts on Diamine Red Dragon and Diamine Spiced Apple. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What are your thoughts on these inks? Do you have either of them? Do you have both of them? Have you tried comparing them yourselves? I'd love to get your thoughts. Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.